Hey, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute since I've posted a video. So in this video, I just wanted to, one, celebrate with you guys on this exceptional day. Two, hopefully give all you traders out there some motivation. Three, share 3 fundamental rules to help you guys in your trading. And then lastly, we will top it off by briefly taking a look at the charts of Bitcoin, RIOT, XNET, and just let you guys know what I'm thinking and what to look out for in terms of price action, price targets over the next couple of days. So with that said, I do now want to cover my Robinhood swing trading account. And so as you guys can see in front of you, up almost $30,000 in a single day. And so if you have been following this channel, you will know exactly what stocks have contributed to today's insane growth. So no, this wasn't a yellow bet by any means, but this in fact was a huge milestone for me personally. And really the main reason I want to share this moment with you guys is to inspire and motivate all of you watching, and to make it very clear that you can also make 10K, 20K, maybe even $1 million in a single day. It definitely takes time, patience, and knowledge. And when I was growing up, I loved seeing how people around me and on YouTube as well, just being transparent about how they trade, what they were trading, how much they were making. So seeing others make money was probably my biggest motivation as a young trader. And that has helped me to become the trader I am today. And so I hope I can do the same for at least a couple of you guys watching today. This is not me bragging, but genuinely wanting to see you guys succeed. Many people have and always will continue to roll their eyes at me when I tell them stuff like, you can double your money in a couple of months. And I get it. It sounds like a gimmick. But most people always respond with, well, I only have a couple $100 to put in, or, well, I don't know anything about options trading, or, I don't know what stocks to buy, and all of the above. So all I really hear are excuses, because guys, I literally started also with a couple $100 to my name. But again, I put in hours into learning when the markets were closed, and then actually trading when the markets were open. And I get it. This is starting to sound a little cheesy and cliche, but the truth is I learned basic TA. I learned every type of option strategy. I learned to set price targets, and well, here I am today. So it's worth mentioning that no one ever shows the hardest parts, because it's just not as pretty to look at as something like, well, the number just disappeared, but I'm recording this currently at midnight, so it's not as pretty as to look at something else like a $28,000 gain. So if you are someone who has a lot of money to start off with, then it just makes the journey a little easier. But if you're someone like me who at one point only had a couple $100, maybe a few $1,000s to their name, then it becomes very difficult to scale your account into something like 6 figures and beyond. So again, hard but not impossible. One of my favorite sayings is from Abe Lincoln himself, and he said if he had 6 hours to chop down a tree, he would spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. So what is your axe? Is your axe your trading plan, the stock you're playing, whatever it might be? Is your axe sharp? Okay, and if it isn't, use these 3 simple but fundamental rules that you should always follow to sharpen your axe. Okay, number 1, pick an undervalued stock in an exploding sector. A great example of this would be Nano Dimension in the robotics and 3D printing sector. Playing these stocks will allow you to achieve those quote-unquote explosive gains, and it takes patience, and they might not explode right away. For example, I caught Mara really early on at almost $4 a share, and in fact, I was averaging up, and now I'm up almost 800% on it, over 800% on this stock. And so I ended up selling more than half my shares in the company during the first run up. So I can show you guys that right here. During this first insane run up, I ended up selling more than half my shares, and then I bought back down on this dip. I kept you guys updated while I was doing it. I said, hey, this would be a great time to triple down on it, and that's exactly what I did. I took the profits and I reinvested it back into option contracts. Now, this brings me to my second rule, and that is to have a plan but be witty. And I want to start by saying this. Mike Tyson once said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. So what I'm trying to say here is definitely have a trading plan, but by setting price targets, knowing when to enter, knowing when to exit, using the charts to your advantage. These aren't just mesmerizing abstract lines here. So things like these channels that I've drawn in, these aren't just fun lines to draw, these pretty lines to look at. These are actually lines that will help you in setting price targets. In fact, if you don't know, they represent redundant trends in human psychology that, again, you can use to your advantage. But also remember that you have to be witty. and have some strategies on your hand to just get you out of messy situations that a lot of times TA can't predict. Which brings me to my third and final rule: stick to your plan and have patience. If you did your research right, if you did your TA right, then learn to stomach the volatility. Trust me, guys, it hurts when it's down. You guys will know this, but the truth is, if I didn't drown out the noise and the volatility, then gains like this would not be possible, or days like this would not be possible where I'm up like $33,000 in a week, which is just crazy. I can't show you guys the daily gain because it reset because it's midnight now in California. So unfortunately that pretty number went away. But again, guys, it's just a number. It's nothing to focus on. Focus on 3 rules, the fundamental rules. Focus on the game and not the numbers, and the gains will automatically come before you even know it. So again, just to reiterate, I can't even begin to tell you guys how many times I've either sold a stock too early or held on it for too long, simply because of the volatility. It just messes you up. It messes with your psychology, and it bums me out, honestly, thinking about how much profits I could have made on so many stocks if I simply followed through with my plan. So again, last rule is to stick to your plan and have patience. Things will eventually play out like how you plan them on the charts. They generally do tend to. So that wraps up this little educational / motivational bit, and hopefully this did inspire you guys or help you guys out in some way. And again, I wish you guys all the best of luck. Remember, don't just jump blindly into trades. Know what you're doing before you even play the stock. So now that being said, guys, let's top it off with taking a look at the charts. We'll start off with Bitcoin. So guys, if you aren't familiar with the chart of Bitcoin, what's been going on, just to brief you guys in, we have been capitulating sideways. We did form this pretty nice bull flag, so found a nice support at $30,000, and we did end up breaking out just like how we predicted. So nothing too surprising here. Now, what did surprise a lot of people was the news that Tesla, Elon Musk coming to the rescue again, and saving pretty much Bitcoin from going sideways for much longer, and he pumped the price up quite significantly for not only Bitcoin, but really all the blockchain players out there. And so, again, that news was Tesla buying $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. And, you can clearly see that in the price action. And so all in all, just great news for Bitcoin. And so, again, that means that as long as Bitcoin continues to rip, so will all these blockchain players, and there's so many over here. At least these are the ones I'm personally invested in. Let me know if you guys are invested in any others. But yeah, so far, RIOT, Mara, XNET, Overstock, and Argo blockchain are pretty much my biggest players in my portfolio by far. These stocks are definitely carrying my portfolio, will always probably carry my portfolio as far as I can imagine. And so right now we're coming close to the $50,000 mark. I won't be surprised when it hits $100,000, maybe in like the next, maybe mid of this year. I do think we're going to be approaching that very, very quickly. And I do think there's a lot of momentum behind this. And so while that momentum is still here, I do think we're going to see some rapid growth. This is just the beginning. I do think that we're going to rapidly close above this upper line of the channel, use it as support, and then continue bouncing upwards. So with that being said, guys, let's just move on to Amara. Then we'll move on to RIOT and XNET. So again, as you guys can see, I'm not even going to bother to explain this chart. This is pretty self-explanatory. This price has just gone vertical compared to the last one. If you thought the last rally was crazy, we just basically did the last rally in a day. So all in all, just great news for a lot of investors like us who are involved in the stock. But also pretty scary because you don't really know, where's the top on this? Is it going to continue ripping to about $50 before pulling back, or is it going to, stall before that? And I personally, going back to my portfolio, I personally have not sold anything. Any profits that I made today are still unrealized. And so I am waiting just for this to stabilize at least a little bit, for us to see a little bit of a pullback before really concluding anything about it ripping higher. So I know, guys, this isn't that concrete of a price target, but this again is just generally what I will be looking for. I'll be looking for it to hit one of these lines, find some support before I really just come to any conclusions. Same goes with RIOT. Straight up, this just went straight up. This is a vertical, steeper than a ladder, and also, it's really exciting to see. I do think, again, about $50 price target when Bitcoin hits 50,000. These are what the green lines were for actually in this chart as well for Mara. I was predicting that as soon as Bitcoin hit 50, we would be hitting 40. And then as soon as it hit about maybe like the next 10K, we would be hitting about 50. And then so for RIOT, same thing. I was thinking that once we hit about $50,000, $60,000, we would be seeing about a $50 riot, and that seems very, very close to happening. And so, again, those going back to the chart of Bitcoin, those psychological numbers are in the multiples of thousands, okay, or at least 10,000. So, every time we hit 1,000, so when that was at 10,000, at 20,000, we always like capitulated sideways, and we hit 30,000, then we capitulated. We hit 40,000, and 40,000 had like the biggest capitulation right here, as you can see. Now we're pretty much testing 50,000. I do think we're going to see a little bit of capitulation, but I feel like I have a hunch that we aren't going to be staying sideways for a very long time, and that we are just going to continue ripping on. So if that does happen, again, all these players will do very, very well, and that's what I'm banking on. Lastly, let's cover XNET. This player is a special player, actually, because this did not see as much love as much as RIOT, Mara, and other blockchain players have been getting over the past couple of days. And so, again, even today, I feel like it just hasn't got much love. And so I think we are going to continue ripping way higher. This is super undervalued. A lot of pressure was forming around here, a lot of buy pressure, and we finally broke this line of resistance. I said that if we could at least break this by this week, then we had a pretty solid chance of breaking this line as well, about 950, and I do think that's what we're going to do. And actually, I haven't drawn or removed this line that I drew almost like 2 weeks ago, and so it's funny to see how that played out exactly like how I drew that. Almost broke it exactly where I thought it would, and so that's just always, again, nice to see. But in terms of price targets, I do think that we are going to come up to test 950, and this would be a good place to probably sell. And then maybe wait for a dip and then buy again. And again, if you guys want to see my XNET position, I will show you guys that right now. And I think I have shown you guys in previous videos, but for any new viewers out there, this is my XNET position. So I do have, I thought I had shorter term contracts as well, but I guess my closest, right here. So I do have some expiring this February. So I'm cutting it really close here at $10. I do think that we are going to continue ripping over the next couple of days, maybe even before the end of this week, we might hit $10. So fingers crossed that will happen. If that does, that will put these call options in the money, and these options will be worth a lot of money. So the last stock I wanted to cover with you guys was Overstock. This is, a lot of people don't even know this, but this is actually a blockchain player in my portfolio, at least. Yes, it is a retailer. And in fact, I have a whole video just scripted and ready to go for this particular stock, talking about the fundamentals. I have so much research planned. I will try to get that out to you soon, but I do want to show you guys my position on that. I have been showing you guys actually that same position for almost about 3 weeks now. And I showed you guys when I first bought that. If I can show you guys. All right, here we go. So as you guys can see, it's sitting at almost $101. Just, I think, not even 3 weeks ago, this was sitting at around like $68 when I called it out. Had an insane spike, capitulated again, now it spiked again. I do think that this stock will go to at least $500 in probably in the next 5 years. And so short term though, if you're a swing trader, look for about the $120 mark before you consider selling. Maybe that would be the high. I will get back to you guys on some more in-depth TA on the stock in particular, but the first time I shouted it out on this channel was at $60, and since then, it has pretty much almost 2x. We're coming up pretty close to 2x here. So I did have options. These are pretty expensive, guys. I mean, like 10K for just like 2 options. That's pretty crazy. I could probably buy like 200 XNET contracts with this for March. So there's definitely a lot of better plays that you could be taking for like half the price or a fraction of the price, and the same amount of gain. So if you're not into this, that's fine, but this is a stock that I wanted to let you guys know that I was playing. So I am going to end the video here, guys. If this did help you out, as always, guys, please sub and leave me a like and a comment. I would greatly appreciate that. Just let me know what you guys are playing, how you guys are doing, and what your strategies are. And with that said, guys, take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.